Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to go from this to this. This is very good for people that have us and want a little bit of padding at the hip area. Now we're going to start with taking our measurements, and you're going to start with from where you wear your skirts naturally, which is your waist area. Now we're going to take the length. The length I want for my foam is going to be about 6 inches before my knee. While doing this, you need to make sure you go down so it will follow the natural curve of your laps. Make sure you do not stop right before your hip, because if you do so, you're going to have a gallop right here. You're going to have like a sharp gallop. So you need to go right down, that is 6 inches before your knee, so as to have a natural curve. Right now I am going to take the straight line on my pattern, and I'm going to take the measurement I took on myself on my pattern. Now as you do this, make sure you follow the natural line of whatever you're wearing. As you can see, I'm going to follow the natural line of mine. So now I'll take my waist to hip, which is 9.5. As you can see, that is where the bulge of my hip is, and it is also where your natural under bum line is. Now I just mark this with my pen just to know where it is, and I'll take 4 inches inside to at my front area. Now I am going to go on and mark this on my pattern. I will take my waist to hip line, which I said is 9.5. Now I would take 4 inches that I took on myself. That 4 inches mark I took on myself to the front, that is what I take. Now from that same line, I will take about 5 inches in, or 6 inches. You need a curve that covers like half of your butt right here. Now you can take 4 or 5 inches. When you're done, this is how the shape is going to be, like this, and stop like right here. Now let's go mark this on our pattern. Now I'm going to take that 5 inches mark I took on myself, and I will just draw the line. Now I will just go on and connect all the curves. Now that I have my pattern ready, I am going to go on and label this and cut this out. To start this, the first thing you need is your leggings. You need a leggings that is really thick and have a little bit of stretch. Do not use a very stretchy leggings or a very light leggings. It has to be really thick and a little bit of stretch. Now I got this from a corset store, and this is a tight, and it is really thick and have a little bit of stretch to it. This is going to compress the foam, and that is why you need something like this or a thick leggings. As you can see, this one is really thick and have a little bit of stretch. If you can get this, it's fine. If you can't, you can use your leggings. Now I am going to do a quick one and show you how to add allowance to your skirt pattern. That is, if you want to draft a skirt pattern. This one is for tailors, and if you want to add the foam to your skirt directly on your skirt and you don't want to do this process. Now let's get to it. This all depends on the amount of foam you are using, and it depends on how much padding you want. Mine is about 1.5 inches. I couldn't get the one of 1 inch, so I will be using the one of 1.5 inches. Now I will just go on and explain this briefly using this illustration. Now here is my waistline, and here is my hip line, and here is the length I want for my skirt. Now I will take my waist circumference divided by 4, my hip circumference divided by 4, and my skirt length circumference divided by 4. Now if you don't know how to draft a skirt pattern, check the description box below for the video. Now next thing I will do is to add my side seam joining allowance on the waist, on the hips, and also on the length. Now add 1 inch allowance for your darts. Remember your skirt pattern has that on the front and also at the back. Now on the waist area, you need to add 1 inch for ease because of the foam. Now the foam around the waist area is going to be really trimmed down. That is why it's best to add 1 inch. On the hip line, I will take my exact foam measurements, which is 1.5 inches. Which I showed you guys. Now on the length of my skirt, I'm going to also add 1 inch because that part will also be trimmed down. Now just connect your lines and you have your front skirt pattern. So the only places that you're going to add 1 inch is your waist and also the length of your skirt, and your hip alone has the exact foam measurement. Now whatever you have done on your front pattern, just make sure you do the same on your back pattern, and that is that, guys. Now once you're done stitching your skirt, you need to follow the side seam joining on your skirt so as to place your foam. So you're just going to put hot glue on your foam here at the middle and also at the top, and you're just going to lay this and follow the side seam joining of your skirt and just place it right there. And also make sure you put hot glue right here and also right here. And once you are done, just make sure you cover the foam up with your lining and it's going to look all perfect. Now let's get back to the tutorial. Now place your pattern on your foam and we're going to retrace this all around, and we're going to cut this out using a scissors. And remember to cut 2 of this pattern on your foam. As you can see, I have cut 2 and I cut this out using a scissors. And now the next thing we're going to do right now is to start giving this a very nice shape so that we can get what we want out of it. Now you can see how flattened out all the edges are right now. You can see that. Now I'm just going to go on and give it a little bit of more shape, and I'm going to also do the same for this other one. Now I have gone and cut out my lining pieces because we're going to be creating a pocket for this foams. Now I have cut out my lining and I added 1 inch allowance all around it. I cut out 2 pieces of my lining. Now I'll place this lining on fold and I'll place it on my tight and I'll start pinning all around it. And this is, just make sure that you overlock all the edges if you can. And now I'm going to leave an opening right here, about 6 inches opening, so as to insert my foam. And now I will just very much keep pinning. Now once you're done pinning, next thing you're going to do is stitch all around the pins, all around the pin parts, and make sure you leave this opening so as to insert your foam. Now as you can see, I am done laying my stitches, and as you can see, this is the opening I left right there. Sewing this was a little bit tricky. What you can do is use your marker or chalk to retrace the pinned parts. so this way you can know where to sew down on your tights, and this is going to give you a heads up. Now that I am done stitching, I am going to insert my foam. As you can see, just fold it over like this and make sure the smooth part faces up. It can face however way you want it to. It's your choice. I feel it's best to create pockets for this. This way, when you want to wash your clothes, you can take it out, wash it, and then put it back in when it's dry, That way it will last much more longer. Now I will go on and insert this one also. And at first it feels like it won't fit, but once you put it and arrange it well, it will fit very, very nicely. And yeah, if you don't want to create pockets, go through the stress of creating pockets, you can just use hot glue gun and attach this to whatever it is you want to wear. Or you can just take the foam and just insert it to your body, wear your tights, and on the go. Now I'm going to put this on and show you. This is my before. Now this is my after. I have worn the foam. As you can see, this looks all crazy. Like, I look crazy, guys. Like, I can't even believe it. So if you like this video, do give it a